I'm just trying to tell my story because sometimes even when you're in a good place, or depending on who you are or where you're at, sometimes we all need a little bit of support every now and then. And the Mix have been a massive support in my life for the last 2 years. So I went to university for 4 years. I did really well at university and I was given a bursary to do a master's. But what they don't tell you is a master's is actually really hard and really expensive. So I found that when I did my master's, because I had to hold down a couple of jobs, one of which was as a residential support assistant, which was quite stressful. I was quite isolated. There's a lot of independent research that I found I got a bit lonely. You kind of shut off from a lot of the world, and not to mention this is the kind of time that you start applying for jobs. So I felt like I had my degree and my master's, so I should have been able to get a job. The world was my oyster, but no one wanted to employ me. Everyone expects you to get where you want to be straight away, and it just doesn't work like that. So I left my master's and I decided I wanted to relive a bit of a dream and go into theatre, and I couldn't get a job. I was rejected on lack of experience, but when I asked for work experience, I was always told I was too old. I decided I'd just get any job, earn some money, and reevaluate in a couple of months' time. So I landed my job with Cabbages and Kings. By the end of that interview, I was absolutely desperate to share more of myself with that company, because someone actually wanted to listen to me. At that point, I was dejected and a little bit lonely, exhausted. And Cabbages and Kings, which was just a temporary money-making job, actually became the restoration that I needed. And I loved it, every moment of it, and I loved the people, and it was just brilliant. They improved my confidence so much that in January 2018, I applied for a theatre job, and this time I was successful. Despite the fact that this new job, all my shifts clashed with my Cabbages and Kings shifts, Keith, catering manager, made it work because he really cared about me and my development, and he put that first. So I was able to continue with that job and still have my Cabbages and Kings job. I was actually struck by the brilliance of the Mix not long ago, because, as I mentioned, I chose to relive my dream of theatre. And I kind of lost that dream when I was 15, which is when we tragically lost our drama teacher. I didn't really realise at the time how much that affected me, but looking back on it, I dropped out of drama A-level. I dropped out of the school play the next year, and I really became entirely disillusioned with what I had previously loved and wanted to go into. Not long ago, another teacher tragically died at that same school, and I remember Ryan putting on social media that he would be there and he would be looking out for those students. So I often wonder how things would have been a bit different if I'd have got that support. And I desperately wish we would have done. But the Mix were here a few years later when I needed them again, which is where I am now, and I love it. And now I am with the Together Project, and I'm lucky enough to help other young people in their search of careers, education and training, and kind of hoping to inspire them a little bit that in reality it's, grades aren't everything, and that you can do great with a pretty good attitude and working hard. I would absolutely tell people to chill when they come out of uni, because it is horribly stressful. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do with your degree? Surely you're going to do something with that degree. And as long as you loved what you did or you really enjoyed uni, you should never regret it. And if it doesn't lead you straight into a job, it doesn't matter. You'll get there. You just have to take every opportunity you can. And sometimes the opportunities you don't expect, like Cabbages and Kings, lead you somewhere that you love. So just enjoy it.